Late one fog-heavy evening in a quiet suburban lane, I found myself behind the wheel of my car headlights, barely cutting through the mist when two pale figures appeared at the curb beside me. Children, or at least children in appearance, their faces ashen and eyes totally pitch, the kind of darkness that swallowed the whites and the irises and left voids where pupils should have been. The girl held a battered teddy bear, the boy clutched a soccer ball, and they nodded shyly as I rolled down the window when instinct urged me to ask if they needed help. "Please," the girl said in a soft, unnatural monotone voice, "may we ride with you? Our parent is waiting." The car broke down and were cold. My heart froze. Their eyes didn't blink. The fog seemed to press closer. Some deep, inexplicable knowing told me to say no, but politeness pinned my lips. I shifted slightly, glanced at my wife in the passenger seat, asleep, the engine ticking quietly, the radio off. The boy's gaze flicked once to my hand on the wheel, then locked on me. "Just a little ride," he repeated, voice layered, flat, too adult for his child face. "Until we reach her." My skin crawled. A shiver ran the length of my spine. I felt the air around the car change, heavy with some malevolent patience. I remembered reading about beings that mimic helpless children to force entry into homes or vehicles, entities that cannot act unless invited, yet the invitation taints the soul. Legend has it that these are the black-eyed children, children of death, demons or aliens, whose entirely black eyes betray their otherness. As I locked eyes with them, my rational mind screamed to drive away. But my body hesitated, rooted by the eerie stillness, the boy's blank stare, the teddy bear's grin at an impossible angle, the soccer ball leaving a dark stain on the wet asphalt as he placed it at the car door. I watched the mist swirl around their legs, hiding their shoes, blurring the ground. I rolled up the window and said, "I'm sorry, I can't." The girl's lips curled into a mild, patient smile, and the boy's head tilted ever so slightly. They backed away without a word, melting into the fog as though the world reabsorbed them. And I sat frozen, engine idling, door still unlocked, the child's ball left outside the car, too heavy to ignore. After a long moment, I slammed the door shut, locked it, and pressed the accelerator. The car lurched forward, tires cutting through the fog. When I dared to glance in the rearview mirror, nothing was there. The ball was gone, the curb empty. But inside the car, on the passenger side floorboard where the ball might have rolled in, I found a small stuffed teddy bear, the one the girl held, its face pressed down into the carpet, one button eye missing, and a whisper of cold behind my ear telling me someone was watching. Over the next days odd things happened. The radio would crackle at midnight with static that resolved into soft, childish giggling. My wife would wake from nightmares of dark-eyed children standing at her bedside, and our cat refused to enter the living room after dusk, hissing toward the hall where nothing stood. Then the power flickered, and I came home one night to find the front door ajar, muddy footprints on the carpet, and the teddy bear sitting in the living room armchair, facing outward, eyes black as night. I called out, but only the night answered. That week I developed a persistent nosebleed and a creeping sense of dread that piled in my chest like wet concrete. I refused to drive after dark. I avoided looking in mirrors. One night the window knocked itself tap 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 at 3 a.m., and when I peered out blindly I saw two silhouettes, children, standing on the grass just beyond the floodlight's halo. They stared, eyes bottomless, and in unison, one voice flat, "Brother and sister maybe," said, "Please, let us in." I backed away. The light flickered off. I heard their footsteps retreat into the dark. The next morning I found muddy footprints in the carpet leading to the basement door. I never opened the basement door again. I sold the house 6 months later, but late at night in my new home, sometimes I dream I hear soft knocking on the front door. I don't answer. And once, in a mirror reflection behind me, I glimpsed two pale figures, standing still, their eyes as black as emptiness, waiting for me to find it polite to allow them in. I don't, because I know if I do what comes next.